Intamin is in huge trouble, but not for the reason you think. Over the years, Intamin developed a reputation in the amusement industry for building some of the greatest roller coasters possible. But their coasters would often come along with poor capacity and some of the biggest maintenance nightmares. While Intamin has turned around in the last couple of years and has really made a push to deliver a quality product in every coaster they build, there is still a massive problem Intamin is about to face. Intamin may have begun to fix up their reputation, but the truth is, it may be too late. Intamin is one of the greatest roller coaster manufacturers to ever come onto the scene, and this video isn't me telling you that they're gonna go bankrupt or anything like that. I think Intamin will be around for many years to come, but I don't see them ever being as popular as they once were. Today, Intamin faces a massive hurdle they've never really faced before, and that is real competition. Yeah, sure, Intamin had the rivalry with B&M in their early days, but Intamin's coasters are all usually very different from those manufactured by B&M. Intamin's only now first facing competition that can build extremely similar rides to them. If you're a park and you wanted an awesome hypercoaster 20 years ago, you'd call B&M and Intamin for a quote and choose between the two. If you wanted the smooth, reliable airtime machine, you were going B&M. But if you wanted the massive record breaker and intense thrill machine, you were going Intamin. Today, however, it's a totally different story. Sure, B&M and Intamin still deliver the same experiences they were known for, but today, a park has so many other options to go with. For starters, RMC can build hypercoasters. Sure, they are a lot different than Intamin's and B&M's, but RMC can also offer a coaster that's record-breaking and intense. A hypercoaster from RMC would also be a fraction of the cost of a similar ride from Intamin or B&M. Then there's Mack rides. Mack rides can build some pretty awesome coasters, so once a park is willing to shell out the money for a B&M or Intamin, they may think it's worth it to go instead for a coaster from Mack rides. Intamin does have a loyal base of customers that they've developed a good relationship with, and those parks will likely continue to work with Intamin in the future. But that's not where I think Intamin is in trouble. Intamin has been making a big push to become super relevant again in the coaster industry as much as they were back in the day. Intamin wants to be the manufacturer that builds everything everywhere. Intamin wants to rebuild a relationship with all of the parks it disappointed over the years with rides that didn't perform as expected or caused maintenance nightmares for their parks. There's just one problem with all of this. If you're a park that used to work with Intamin and eventually stopped working with them, even if Intamin changed and became a higher quality manufacturer in the reliability department, you still may choose another manufacturer as your new go-to. Intamin has a lot more competition than they had back in the day, and while they still make some of the greatest coasters in the world, RMC and Mack rides are doing that too. RMC does it for a much cheaper price than Intamin, and the quality and reliability of a coaster from Mack rides is incomparable to Intamin. Intamin really is in huge trouble now. They've lost their relationship with many of the popular parks and chains around the world, and now there are so many other options for those parks to go with instead of contracting Intamin to build their next coaster. Even looking at Seaworld, who was one of Intamin's biggest customers in the US recently, we've seen Seaworld go to Mack rides for family launch coasters in recent years despite the fact that they're on a really good terms with Intamin. The fact that Seaworld has been going to Mack rides here and there over using Intamin just goes to show you the trouble that Intamin is in. Intamin's competition doesn't stop at RMC and Mack rides. Vekoma has been building some of the greatest coasters in the industry in recent years, and they are also a big competitor of Intamin's. A lot of parks seem to be interested in the new generation Vekoma coasters, and that could cause Intamin to lose a bunch more potential customers in the future. Vekoma is also parented by the same company that owns S&S, and S&S has a really good relationship with a whole bunch of parks in the US from their top towers and free spins. So Vekoma definitely has an in with parks that way. Then there's one more company I want to talk about. That company is Zamperla. Zamperla is restoring an old Intamin launch coaster and giving it the brand new Lightning trains at P&E Playland for 2024. Zamperla really seems to be going for Intamin's customers, and if they are the ones reimagining Top Thrill Dragster, then Intamin is in a lot more trouble than we even realize now. The fact that Cedar Point could potentially hire Zamperla to fix up an old Intamin headache would really be fascinating, and if the new Top Thrill Dragster then succeeded, it would give Zamperla a resume like no other. Just imagine you're a park like Hershey Park. You've worked with Intamin a couple of times. All three of your Intamin coasters are very unreliable and experience a ton of downtime. And Skyrush is just a disaster with the general public. You stop working with Intamin, but then you start to look at some of Intamin's more recent rides like Velocicoaster and Pantheon. You could take that risk of going back to work with Intamin, or you could choose to go with one of Vekoma's spectacular models. Then again, maybe Mack rides is an option. They've been building some of the greatest coasters on the planet lately. Or maybe you even decide to give Zamperla a shot. Suddenly, going back to the Intamin that caused you so many problems over the years doesn't seem like such a good idea. Why work with the company that caused you issues when there are three other great alternatives that can offer you rides of similar quality, performance, and reliability? So that is why I think Intamin isn't gonna have it so easy in the future. Their coaster models aren't really so unique or record-breaking anymore, and a lot of the new models they've announced in recent years have been mere copies of rides from other manufacturers. I'm sure Intamin will still build a couple of coasters a year, but when there are so many other companies all offering similar products, you gotta think they're gonna take a big chunk of Intamin's potential customers. We'll have to wait and see how this all plays out, but I think the real trick Intamin needs to pull out of their sleeve is a brand new incredible coaster concept that's never been done before and something no other company will be able to replicate for a while. Intamin needs to give parks a reason to choose them over all the other coaster manufacturers, and I don't think they've done that just yet. This is the one reason I think B&M is in a slightly better position than Intamin going into the next decade, because at least B&M is releasing new coaster models that are exclusive to them. Even if B&M only builds a couple of surf coasters around the world, they still have on their side the fact that if a park wants to build a stand-up coaster, there's no other manufacturer they're going to call other than B&M. Intamin is at a crucial point in my opinion, and I hope we soon see them release something super innovative that blows us all away. Intamin needs to find a way to mix innovation together with reliability, and hopefully their future is as bright as their past. But what is happening with Intamin's previous nightmare coasters? Click here to watch my video on the future of King the Ka and find out why I think King the Ka won't be around for much longer after the maintenance headaches it's caused for the park over the last 18 years.